What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. We got a Robert Saleh press conference on this lovely Saturday after a ugly New York Jets loss to the Miami Dolphins. So wanted to break down the biggest storylines coming out of this press conference, starting with the New York Jets starting quarterback, Tim Boyle. That hurts to say out loud, but Tim Boyle is starting once again against the Atlanta Falcons. If you need a defense in fantasy football, I would highly suggest picking up the Atlanta Falcons defense. Boyle was not very good. No one should be surprised about that. Boyle was not very good against the Miami Dolphins. Now in 19 games in the NFL, has 4 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. I don't know what Trevor Siemian did to this coaching staff or this regime to get them this upset with him, but I don't know why we're going to go back to Tim Boyle in this spot instead of Trevor Siemian. I'm not saying Trevor Siemian's this amazing option. He's not really the biggest thing, and I've said it for, 3 months now? The biggest thing is how often I guess the Jets passed on adding a legitimate quarterback in here, and that's really where they went wrong. March, week 1, week 3, the deadline, any point, they could have added somebody else. They passed on it, and now this is why they're in the spot that they are. Because they said, no, we're good with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle, and we'll bring in Trevor Siemian and only activate him off the practice squad when you absolutely have to, and they're going to go down with the ship. That's the plan. Boyle's going to start on Sunday. I don't expect to see much of a difference. I would expect turnovers to be a big factor. And they're going to struggle again on offense. Sorry, I mean, not to be depressing, but that's just, I don't see how we could possibly think anything different's going to happen. Robert Saleh was also pretty critical of Breece Hall for the first time. He said that Hall is a special talent, but there's the grimy yards that a back has to understand that he needs to get. Said he's trying to create explosives right now, and he needs to get more of the tough yards rather than always trying to hit the home run. This is funny because why do you think he is trying to hit those explosive yards? There's like a cause and effect. Remember in like elementary school when you had to learn about these things that were like, if this happens, then this happens. Cause and effect. It's something you learn at a very young age. The Jets offense stinks. The offensive line's bad. The play caller's bad. The quarterback's bad. The wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson are bad. Why do you think Breece Hall is trying to hit the home run every play? Because their entire offense is Breece Hall doing something special. That's their offense. That's the only way that they're productive. Garrett Wilson has 3 touchdowns this year. Breece Hall has 4? And then 3 randos have touchdowns, and CJ Uzama, Allen Lazard, and the fullback. So most of their offense is Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. And when they struggled in the last few weeks, my opinion on why they're struggling is because I think that they are pressing. They are trying to do too much. They feel this immense pressure because the offense absolutely is horrendous, that they have to do something special every single time the ball is in their hands. And that's why Garrett Wilson has 2 fumbles in the last 4 games. And that's why Breece Hall dropped the pitch. And just like, do we not understand why that is? Like, it's so, again, it feels so obvious. Like, of course. Anyone knows that this offense is just so bad that if they're going to try to do these things, that's why the defense is taking these aggressive shots and trying to create turnovers, and they get hit up for big plays. Of course. I just don't understand what the coach is missing. But sure, yeah, let's criticize Breece Hall. He's very high up on the list of people for me to criticize. Izzy Abanikanda is not playing right now because he can't pass protect. My question is, why is Max Mitchell playing then at right tackle? Which obviously the answer is they don't have another option. And I'm sorry, that was harsh. And of course they don't have another option. So it's not a one-to-one comparison, but they just refuse to use Izzy Abanikanda because he can't pass protect. Great. Okay. Dalvin Cook looked like a great pass protector last week, but Izzy Abanikanda can't get on the field because he can't pass protect. I really don't get it sometimes with this team. I really don't. Why? The line stinks, but he's an explosive player. Just find ways to get the ball to your explosive players. It's on the coordinator in order to scheme something up to make it work. Shouldn't be this difficult. Robert Saleh said Mekhi Becton should be back this week. He also mentioned that there's some possibility to have Wes Schweitzer and Dwayne Brown back. So my question to you, or that we'll talk through here at the final little bit of this, is what do we see on the offensive line this week? If let's assume that Becton and Brown and Schweitzer come back, does Dwayne Brown start at left tackle? Do they go Brown, Tomlinson, Tippmann, Schweitzer, Becton? Move Becton back to right tackle? Or does Becton go back to left tackle? Max Mitchell stays at right tackle. You're not touching Joe Tippmann and Tomlinson. Joe Tippmann didn't allow a sack yesterday. He's been a really rare bright spot on this offensive line. The Jets found a good one with Joe Tippmann. But I would imagine that Schweitzer comes in for Newman or Glazer, who started the last 2 weeks, who not great. And really, the question is, what do they do at tackle? Does it become Brown and Becton like it was at the start of the year with Becton at right tackle and Brown at left tackle? Do they keep Mekhi Becton at left tackle and just keep Max Mitchell at right tackle? Don't know. Again, I don't really have a good answer for you because I don't think Max Mitchell's been very good this year, especially in pass pro, but Dwayne Brown also looked really bad in pass pro. And do you want to move Mekhi Becton, who was doing really well at left tackle, back to right tackle because your 40-year-old left tackle can't play another position? It's in a weird spot. So I'm curious to see how they come up, like what they do next week against the Atlanta Falcons, what offensive line combination they end up running out there. But at least on paper, the line should be a little bit better next week. But there you go. That's the biggest news of the week in Jets land. Let me know your thoughts, or biggest news of the day, not the week. We'll be back. Probably not today. Just kind of wanted to get a big video out on everything that Robert Saleh had to say. We'll talk on Sunday, and then we'll start getting into the following week. And guess what? Monday is first mock draft Monday. So we've made it, folks. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new. I am Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.